What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Elijah. This is the channel where we talk about all things related crypto. So today I'm going to be talking to you about my strategy going into 2022. So we've had a hectic, crazy year in crypto. It seems like right now we're looking at what looks like a bear market in the general scheme of things. But overall, I would like to say, from my perspective, at least the cryptocurrency market has grown in the craziest ways possible. We've seen new layer one chains come about. So Bitcoin, had its craze in 2017, the last cycle, and this cycle we really saw a focus on Ethereum instead. Bitcoin did really, amazing and great, but like we saw Ethereum come out with these NFTs, and we saw DeFi start to hold its ground, and people just trading in that market space, creating new financial instruments. So just crazy things. Now DAOs are coming about because of smart contracts and what that powers, right? So this whole new wave that we saw, this new cycle that happened in 2021 for the most part, was just completely different from what we've seen in the past. And the craziest thing about that now is that we have new layer one chains that are coming about. So Solana is a new one now that's been buzzing a lot. We've been talking about Solana for a while, but Solana has been buzzing for a long time now. Essentially this year, the total value locked in Solana's ecosystem went from $10 million to upwards of $10 billion. So crazy rapid expansion in a matter of 1 year. So this brings me to my investment spread. Not necessarily investment spread, actually. The easiest way to think about it is in dollar terms, but essentially what I have on screen here is an idea of how these ecosystems are going to grow in the next 5 to 10 years, at least my projections. And the easiest way to kind of think about it is in terms of market cap, or like price of the tokens that represent the value of the networks, essentially. So take these numbers for a grain of salt, but this is how I think the ecosystems are going to grow. So let's dive into this. So at number one, we have Ethereum, of course, and I see this having still potential to grow 2 to 5 times, more than its current size. Why? Ethereum is strong. It's proven to us that it's still trying to figure out what it is that it's going to make it super unique and rare. Ethereum started all of these crazy chains of different things that are happening. So Ethereum is going to continue to find new ways to develop. It seems like it's ahead of its curve whenever it comes to new innovation. Everyone's, a lot of developers are currently in this space right now. So it's easy to come up with new tech inventions, new ways to go about using smart contracts to bring more utility for people. So I think we're barely scratching the surface when it comes to Ethereum, what's going to power. So I wouldn't see it, anything wrong with it growing past where it's currently at. Bitcoin is currently $1 trillion market cap. So Ethereum can definitely bring a lot of utility to the market, to where people are using Ether every day for different transactions. So we're going to see how that plays out. So the next thing on my list here is Solana. Solana is an amazing one. It's a creative solution. It's sort of like Ethereum's what Ethereum should look like for a lot of people. One problem with Ethereum is gas fees, and it's atrocious. But Solana sort of is a super scalable blockchain that reduces the fees and increases transaction speed. Crazy. So it's amazing. It's very lightweight, and a lot of people are using it now because it also has its own really nice NFT marketplaces. It's like it has an ecosystem that has grown past anything. So this first section that we're talking about today, these blockchains, I'm talking about Ethereum, Solana, and the next one I'm going to talk about Avalanche. These are blockchains that have achieved a concept of network effect. So at this point we're currently in, Ethereum, Solana, and Avalanche have gotten to the point where they actually have utilities, so applications being built on top of them. People are using the Ether token or the Solana Sol token or AVAX token to actually make contracts go through between different companies. Like I could be a person and I started a thing on the crypto space, and it's a DeFi protocol, for example, like whatever it is, a liquidity pool, any of these different infrastructure that people are building, they're built on top of these systems. So it's gotten to the point where there's enough solutions to where more people are going to be entering the space than leaving the space, at least when it comes to builders' perspective, developers' perspective, investors' perspective. So we've gotten to the point where it's pretty consolidated. So it's interesting to see what's going to happen and play out. The third thing on the list, again, is Avalanche. So this one is very, very exciting, actually. It's also layer 1 solution. So it's sort of Ethereum today, or Ethereum 2.0, what Ethereum 2.0 is supposed to be. So Avalanche essentially is that blockchain that acts like Solana with low fees and high transaction speed, but has similar qualities to Ethereum with how the tokens are. So it has fungible tokens, non-fungible tokens, essentially kind of the same gist, but it has, it's interesting network effect. So it has a lot of, developers in the space, like builders, etc. So people are in the space and actually creating things for each other, and transacting with each other in unparalleled ways, like ways we haven't thought about before. Really, really interesting and exciting ways, actually. And next on my list here is MidTier. So the MidTier, I call this the cause and effect chain. So these are the chains that I predict will do well because of their father or mother chain also does well. So the first on the list here is Serum. So Serum is a decentralized exchange that is built on top of Solana. So what is a decentralized exchange? So essentially it is a way for people to trade amongst each other without a central or middleman. So for example, today if you went to Coinbase is a centralized exchange. So Coinbase is a company that's a middleman, so they are routing your orders. You don't exactly own any of your private keys in any of those wallets at Coinbase, but they help you facilitate trading and holding onto your assets. So they do help. But the gist here is a decentralized exchange instead is not one central person. It could be a network. It could be me, you, and everyone else that decides to be the network that helps achieve that. So instead of having a middleman company, the network itself essentially steps in and takes care of that and handles it. But also the reward of whatever work happens to be done gets distributed back to that network in even or proportional amounts based on the efforts that was put in. So that's the idea, at least. And I see this having 100x, possibly because if Solana grows to where it should be, Serum is powering every single, it's an order book, and they have an order book, so they power a lot of the decentralized exchanges on Solana's network as well. So not just the Serum ecosystem, but like the other decentralized entire exchange space in Solana. So next on this list is Harmony. Harmony is a super interesting one for me. I am also working on a validator node. A validator node is basically someone that is signing transactions on a blockchain. So what happens in blockchain is in order for a block to be put on the chain, it has to be signed by someone, or at least a list of transactions that are occurring wherever it's at is randomly assigned to a validator node. They sign it by completing some network functions, essentially. It's basically auto command if you're running the Harmony service. So it does it on its own, but you want to make sure that your computer is keeping up with the network, essentially. That's what the validator nodes are doing. But you're running this computer or the server somewhere and it's doing work for you. So that's at least the gist of this Harmony thing. But Harmony is interesting for me. I think it has a huge way to go with this. It's a layer 1 solution to help scale Ethereum, so it's very interesting and exciting. That's one you should keep your eye on. The next one on my list is Polygon. Polygon is insane. It's a layer 2 solution for Ethereum, helping scale Ethereum. Again, the problem with Ethereum is gas fees and the slow transactions. So what are people trying to do? They're taking that and abstracting it. So they're creating a way to speed up transactions by taking it to a different chain and doing the switcheroo, completing transactions, and then going back to the main chain. So that's how they're doing it. It goes above my head in some aspects, not going to lie to you, but essentially that's the goal, and that's not just the goal, but what they have achieved. And there's still a lot more for them to achieve according to their head milestones and the goals that they're willing to achieve, push forward with. But if anything that helps scale Ethereum's network is a no-brainer, because if Ethereum does well, again, this is a cause and effect list. So if Ethereum does well, Polygon is also going to do well because it's pretty much helping the network, and it will just further help the network. So So the next thing on my list is speculation. What the F is this? So these are just projects that I'm interested in because they sound interesting. SolRise is really one that's interesting. It's an investment fund. I'll actually be looking into making an investment fund for myself and people in the community and my channel. Essentially, you can create a fund. It's on the blockchain, so you and I could essentially, could invest $100 on my end, you could invest $100 on your end, and we pick a list of things we want to invest our reserve in, and it's a multi-sig wallet, meaning I can't decide what to do with our reserve. So now I put $100, you put $100, so there's $200 in the reserve. So in order for us to invest that $200, both of us have to vote on what we want to be investing in collectively, right? So you ask, what is the difference between doing that and investing on your own? There's no difference. You can invest on your own, but essentially it's like getting an investment manager, because essentially the fund manager could help you change what coins you're investing in or other things you're doing. Essentially, it's a hands-free way to invest. It's like the ETF, essentially, but it's interesting. So SolRise is an interesting platform to me. They have that one tool. I think I will be using it. One thing you notice is I am not just about investing, money in here. I'm trying to find blockchains that I could create some value in as well. So either building infrastructure or using it personally, not just like buying it and having some arbitrary coin sitting somewhere. The idea is to have something that's working and interact with it and interact with people and build stuff that useful, essentially. So next on the list is just also Solana. It's a DAO stake pool, but I think the interesting DAOs are just pretty interesting right now. So I'm kind of speculating in that arena. Again, this is my speculation pool. Like a lot of DAOs on this list, because DAOs are super interesting. They're essentially new companies, or crypto age companies, because they create a decentralized way for people to come together and manage a fund. Again, like the fund that I was talking about here, essentially powered by DAO mechanisms. So what we're doing is we're collectively bringing money together to create a reserve, and in order to make decisions on that reserve and how we spend that money, we come together and vote on ways on chain, and everything happens transparently on chain. The computer, the algorithms, or the crypto verse handles that based on the smart contracts that we write. So that's what makes it amazing, because we can collectively come together and do big things. So that's one thing. So these are all DAOs. The last thing on my list is stable coins. Please understand stable coins. You don't have to use them. Yes, you're not going to make $1 million off of them, but you need to know stable coins, because this is the closest thing to dollars. So it's a great way for you to just manage your risk, hedge your risk, and also have some level of consistency in the markets if that's what you're looking for. So on my list here, I have a few things. Generally, you can get up to 9% per year in terms of APY. So APY is just money that you're earning for your money sitting there. If you had a bank account, you would earn 0.1% APY, which in my opinion sucks. I don't know why anyone would do that. But if you come to stable coins in the cryptocurrency space, you have $1, you have one USD coin. It's $1 to one coin. It doesn't typically go under. It does sometimes, but it's like 99 cents or 98 cents at the worst case. So it's not crazy. Sometimes it's even $1.01. So you might even get the other end of the spectrum. So, but typically the idea is it's around $1. So you have some level of consistency in a very volatile market. But then the interesting thing becomes all these platforms are going to give you 9% APY for your money just sitting there, because they're trying to build and compete with the banks. So the last thing, and also the way they make their money is through arbitrage. So it's not like the money's coming out of thin air. They're taking that money and they're reinvesting into DeFi, other protocols. They're making a profit and then they're spitting it back to you in 9% consistency. So it's great. It works out for everyone. It's a win. Everyone's running arbitrage. So the last one on my list is US Terra. This one is amazing. I made a video about this on my channel. If you want to go check it out, you should. Most definitely should. It's a way to make 19% per year in cryptocurrency, but it's a stable coin. So it's the same thing I just mentioned. The other ones are just other coins. So you're probably asking me, why not just put everything on that one then, since that one is a 19%, the other one's at 9%? I just like to diversify my risk. You could go all in on one of these stablecoins if you feel comfortable, but it's just a way to diversify risk. There are different stablecoins. I'm playing the game. 9%, 9%, 10, 19%. I'll take an average of that. I'm fine taking an average of what 19 and 9 is to diversify my risk. And you don't have to. If you don't want to, you could go all in on the 19%. The options are yours. I'm just here to deliver the information that I know. Anyway, it was your boy Elijah. Thank you for sticking with me. I know I just went through a whole lot, but that is essentially what I'm looking at when it comes to 2022, or at least going into the beginning of 2022 when it comes to how I will be investing in the cryptocurrency space overall. So my dollars, my time, trying to build stuff, all that jazz. So if you're in any of these spaces and you want to chat about it, hit me up in the comment section. If you're doing anything, let me know. If you are interested in working in anything and you have ideas for me, let me know. But anyway, it was your boy Elijah. Thank you for stopping by and watching this. If you like this in any fashion, destroy that like button for me. Happy holidays. It will make me smile more. But anyway, it's your boy Elijah. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. You do not want to miss anything that we have going on here. Seriously, we have some fun times here. Just going into it. But anyway, it's your boy Elijah. Thank you for watching this, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Don't speak to no one but the facts to the max.